You know, they say it's all in the presentation. Sometimes they say it's not how much you smoke, rather than what do you smoke. Sometimes they say the sun is yellow. Others say it's orange. I'd like to know what the sun is all about. It equals to 54 and it totalitizes of Rubik's Cube. And the reason it does this and becomes Rubik's Cube is because it runs the solar system. That is what they call it, and it must be perfect because the sun is seen from all over and it gives directives to everything. Now, I've been looking at a design on Nibiru countdown, and I've had a few gentlemen who have come in here and say, hey, what the fuck you talking about? You make no sense because you're all over the place. I'm a little sorry. I have to remember that every time I make a new video that it should be like the first time for the first time viewers. Sometimes things are a little upside down, you know. They don't go the way you want them. Your thinking pattern has been deranged, and then they say you're just deranged in your own way. So this is what I'm going to show you. Maybe it'll straighten things out. If you take a look at this, forget these are two antennas. Here's the head, here's the arms, and here's the legs. Spread Charlie, let's see what's going on. There's 13 from here to here, but from here, the interior, never count the outside bricks. We're going to count these bricks. Here's 11, here's 9. Here's 7, here's 5, here's 3. Now we have the core, because what we're going to do is we're going to outline 1. You notice the way, when we outline 1 here, you've got a whole long way, but this way to outline is only 3, because we're only covering the above and below, just like in roulette. So now we have 3, and now we have 1, 3, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1. We have between here and here is 20, but we take away the 2 away, we'd have 19 and 18. 18 is the angel residence. This one is 11. 11 and 18 is 29. That's the entry. It's the entry. The 2, beta, double up, and the 9, the passage of the heart. The center of this is all 42s. 14, 12 and 2, 14, 11 and 3, 14, 10 and 4, 14. There's odds and there's a game that pays off. 14 represents 5 and 9, which means this can be all parts of man. Maybe this is where the Kabbalah comes in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 parts. 8, 8, and 8. Or we must start here because it's encased. Do you see the roof? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 2, 4, 4, 2. 1, 2, 4, 4, 2. Now we jumped off over here. I just wanted to show you something. That if this is 13, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, ACDC, Earth, Mars, and Earth, Mars, and Mercury. Mercury totality count of 103. Earth totality count of 52, and Mars totality count of 51. 51 and 52 equals Mercury 103. The antennas are up. These are all the Mayan signs. You see this sign over here is red. Red, 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 red. Here are the grays. Here is the yellow. You have to understand, you see the yellow makes the star? Shows up under number 11. Now remember this is AC. This is 1 to 10 equals 55. This would say 1 to 11. If we had 3 numbers, 101. Then we drop off the 101, we go 111. We drop up the 111, we go 213. We drop up the 213, we go 312. Now you know you're in the center. And it's exactly the center. 1, 2, 1, 3, starting here under red and finishing 3, 1, 2. And then we're going 2, 3, 4, and they call that the jail. The vibrational jail divided by 9, it will come into this number perfectly. 13 and 1. I'm drawing it on here, not only because I don't have a printer, because it says, it talks. I now see row 1 is 1 and it has 11 is 1, 1, 1. Row 2 has 9, so it's 2 and 9. Row 3 has 7. This is part of Nibiru coming, 3. And you know everything's parts of 3s. And 42 is a divisible of 14 times 3 equals 42. Things have turned around. They're not so upside down anymore. The other thing is, in row number 7, the first number that starts off in row number 7 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 14 counted. But there's not 14 here. It's because we overlap in the center. 7 and 4 is everything. It's the center of gematria. Half of 74 is 37, and that's part of the number of Nibiru. What do you want me to tell you? Give you a definition for a number that I figured out, because that's what it is. But if you don't like my definition of what I said, then whatever I say has no meaning. What do you mean, Nibiru? What do you mean the number 13? Why this and why that? You add up the numbers, you divide them, you multiply them, you find out where it's happened before, under what circumstances, and what came about, and that's what you get. Another thing I was going to mention, this is off the wall a little bit, is that because I see the dice of having 6 sides, yes, I will get back to this, but because I see the dice having 6 sides, I decided we're going to go to 1 and 6. 1 and 6, okay, is the letter P. Okay, but if you add up 1 to the letter P, which is the 16th letter, it equals 136, 613 laws of Moses. Now, why are we under the letter P? Because if we went 61 to reverse 61, reverse 61, 77, because we can't start from the corners like I just showed you. So imagine if we went 61 cycles, and in each cycle, there was 6 days. It would equal to 366, and every year would be a leap year. Do you know why? Because we're born. The reason it goes back down is because the extra connection brings you back down that 3/4 of a day. It goes into who you are. I don't know how that works exactly. I just know I'm absolutely right. I guess, maybe. There's a possibility, a chance. And it also depends on what you think I might be 100% wrong. So when you multiply it, you end up with 366. Now, if moon time is 28 days, times 13 moons, like the Indians called it, we'd be missing 2 days. So in order to make up these 2 days, to make for the moon cycle to finish and the year to finish equally, we need 182 years for it to happen. Now, it's got to happen in 182 years. Let's got to figure this out. So 182 times 30 equals 132 times 30. Let me put this on the calculator for a second. You're still with me? 182 times 30 is creation. That's right, 30 is creation. That's why Valentine's Day, creation of the 4 corners of 1379, 2020. 304th day of the year, the 4 corners, the 30 of creation, 304, Earth and Mars. 0. Do you like to look at 0 very often? There's a slash in it. Because 0 and the slash means there's a 7 as the 7th gate. Because when 1 and 5 on your telephone are in the center, you still come to birth and have the 7th gate. Except it happens either in 8 or in 2. But it's still the 7th gate, because no matter what, you need the center to connect you, your mind, into the world you are and the body you have. So 30 times 1, 30 times 182 equals, oh, that's a divided. 30 times 182. That's what I like about multiplication. There's no remainders. You know what I'm saying? It comes out to 5,460. Comes out to 5,460, 30 times. Now if you multiply 50 times 30 is 1,500. Because 50 is the first, I've got to go like this. 50 times 30 equals 1,500. 50 times 47 is when Moses was born, 2350. Okay, now the reason I use this, okay, 50. Now I use 30 times this because 30 times 47 equals to 1410. And that's when Jesus was born. 50 times, it's 2350, and 30 times, it's 1410. You add them together, it becomes 3760. Again, 37 Nibiru. So when you add them together, so now I'm going to go through creation, because we need the moon. So we're going back to what the moon would be, which would be in 28-day cycles, and the moon would come even after 182 years. The one spirit, 2 and 8 is backwards, 8 and 2, it doesn't matter, they both make 10, equals to the amount of 5460. The difference in time that's left over until next year, when I'm calling that this is the end of the big cycle, is left at 315 years, plus the 5460 equals next year. 31, 1 and 3, 31, the 5 passage. Earth, Mercury, Jupiter. It makes the triangle on your phone. It also says A, C, and E. 3 times 15 is 45. You remember the 45, 54 we got to start with when we were talking about the plans in the frontier? And number 42, off of the gematria tree that came from Nibiru countdown. It's a very hard understanding. So now there's 100. There was, excuse me a second. There's yes. This is what's left over. Now, if you divide 3 into this, it becomes 100. See, instead of 30, now you got a 3, because it's the same marker. 3 into 315 is 105. 105 times 4 equals 420. If you add up 1 to 14, and 14 is the center of this thing over here. If you add up, okay, it's all 14s. Okay? If you add it up, 105, add 1 to 14, it equals to 420. 420 in French is 4 and 20. When you say it together, it actually means 80, because you multiply one corner of 20, and it equals 80. So now you have this situation which says ace. So this is why I know that we're in the time period for Nibiru to come. The other thing in that is that 14 is 1 times 4 and 1 plus 4. It says DNA. It says AND. 1 and 4 is AD. 114 is DNA, or just the letter N. So 14 and the 4 and the 1, add them back up together again, add them up. Equals 19, the moon, which is created by 4 and 3. 3 and 4, Halloween. April Fool's Day, on the 1st of April, and October 1st. 91 days to the end of the year, 91 days into the year. What's left over? 182. What number am I calculating? 182. To bring everything equal, that instead of having years of 365 days, it's always 366 days a year, and it's 61 weeks, and 60 and 61 stand for Saturn, because they changed the number on the amount of moons that are on Saturn, and 66, they changed the amount of moons that are on Jupiter. There used to be 63, and I don't remember that calculation, 362719, each of the worlds, the 11 world, the 9 world, the 7 world, the 3 world. So we look back into these numbers, and then you think of the letter P, number 6 and 1, 1 and 6, A to F, makes G. If we take 1 and 6 together, the 16th letter, that's P. It equals to a total of 6, 1, and 3, Saturn, Earth, and Mercury. When you add up Mercury, it's 103. When you add up Saturn, it's 93. And 52 is 145. 145, 45 again, back to the Nibiru number, 613 laws of Moses. We have to go up to 147 because that's the cycle. 1 through 36, 1 through 36 equals to 666. 1 plus 2 and all the way up to 36. I do not know what it is for 47 and 46 and 45 and 44 and 43 and 42 and 41 and 40. And don't forget, back to 42 and 14, 3 by 14 equals to 42. And it's all over the crap table, that number. They're all payoffs are on 42 onside the place and come bets. Place and come bets. So 39, 38, 37, 36. The first two numbers after 36 are 37 French, 38 English. The roulette table. 75, 57 is what comes next year. Then we get 39, 40, 41 is 120. Then we get 42, 43, 44. It's 129. 129. And then 45, 46, 47. 46 times 3 is 120 is 138. 138. 5, 14, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 1, 2, 3, 4. The answer I get is 2162. 2162, I'm sorry. I get 375 plus 49 plus 38. 5 and 9 is 14, 22 and 2 is 5, 9, 16 and 1. The answer I get is 462. So 4 times 62 is 248. 248, okay? Now I can play with this any way I want. These are there's two kinds of laws of Moses. One with 365 and one with 248. They equal to the 613. Now what I'm going to do is take that 462 and add it onto the gematria trail, which adds up from A all the way to 36, which equals to 666. We have 8, we have 12, and we have 1. It becomes 1128, okay, which the 28 moons of Spirit Angel of Man. When you add up all the numbers to 47 from 1 to 47, can you see it in there somewhere, 1128? 11 plus 28 equals 39, 3 13s. 11 minus 28 equals the 1128 equals to the queen. Now the queen, it's funny because of its design. It's like the sperm and the egg that's wrapped into one. It's like the I, the own letter. This is K. This is the moon. 39. One from the edge, but you see, the numbers are all the same. Right up to number 47. I don't even have to say anymore. I don't have to describe it and look for it right now. It's not time. Another reason why royalty is coming in, look at this color. You have to look at the colors. Yellow and red created what's in the middle is orange. So you notice it's being encompassed by the colors it created and it's not going next. Turquoise is a birth color and that's why it shows an entry into this pocket over here. But everything goes black because it has to match this circuit to this circuit. And then you can live here. You have to match circuits. This is an electrical system we live in. We keep coming up with 182. We keep coming up with 3, 1, and 5 all over the place. Ask Daryl. He knows. Or Zach. He knows. Anyways, this is a 1-minute video where I had nothing to say. And it's not only me. Remember I started telling you about 9s and stuff? Well, here's something else somebody else did that I'm starting to go over. 9, 18. I got to put it here. I mean, I wasn't born in 3 months, was I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We live in between. We come from 7. That would be the outside. Outside of the 2 world, 2 by 7, 14. 7 by 7, 49. 7 and 6, 13. Why? Because it's on Saturday. 11 and 8. Oh, another thing about this 11 I told you and 28. Now, when you play roulette, they're both black. 2 and 8 equals 1. 11 equals 2. We're back to 21, the same way we start. The double of you, the double zeros. I'm going to go over this board. I have to show it to you one more time. This is the clock. 3, 1, and 5 is next year. If I add up 3, 1, and 5, Hebrew New Year's is next year. And this is the scale board that I will go over constantly. It may take me a month. It may take me 6 months, but it'll definitely take me more than a day. If I didn't explain myself properly, come on and ask me whatever you want to ask me. There are so many things to do to understand the scale. You see this here? 2, 4, 5? 2, 4, 5 is 10, right? Well, all I count is 9, because this one overlaps and God plays from your heart. He's your bloodstream. He's your breathing. They built us from every single animal you can possibly imagine. Why? Everybody get ready. It's tryouts. Who wants to get injected and poked, and we'll see what we can do to change the human species. Aldous Huxley had the right word to say, but before he can say no more, they said, we'll let him live. Just no one will believe him. But he spoke more of the truth and had more of a vision than anybody else. And back into the movies of Avatar and A Beautiful Mind, what the mind can do. Well, if the mind can think it, the mind can do it. The Mayans know. And it's all about 5 and 9, which is 14. 5 and 9, EI, 14, N. The total of 28 and 11 is S and T. You already spelled Einstein of 1776. Time has gone around and has come around. Why I showed you the cycle of the moons of 182. Is it 182? Excuse me. Now I'll make it 183. Or should I? No. 183 is half of the 366. But 182 will bring you to the 13 moons of 28 days in the last cycle. 182 years by 2 days is 364. We've now picked up that 1 and 1 leap year on each side. Remember I told you October 1st? October 2nd is the 92nd day. But you know what's funny? April 1st is the 92nd day itself. But they're going opposite ways. They started January and they go 91 this way. 91, 13 by 7 is 91. 13 cards. And the 13 cards in 4 suits times 91 is 364 moons. Let me repeat that. 1 to 13, A and M, 1, 1, and 3. Add them up equals to 91. 91 times 4 equals 364. 182 times 2. The moon cycle. It's in our cards, it's in our head. We know what it is, it's in our hands. When will we wash our face and try and look up and say, you know what? There is a reality in counting numbers. Of course, 1 and 1 is 2. Raphael, 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for giving me the patience to do this, oh Lord. Thank you for giving me the patience, oh Lord. The patience for doing this. Thank you.